Okay, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, welcome to Afrique 24-hour TV. We are live on our YouTube channel, we are live in Facebook, we are live in X, and we are also live in TikTok for those people following us. So if you're joining me for the first time, ensure that you subscribe to our channel that is Afrique 24-hour TV. And if you subscribe to Afrique, you can also go ahead and join and become a member of Afrique 24-hour TV. I know some of you are happy, some of you are disappointed, specifically the fans of great Arsenal FC, the ones who are waiting for Tottenham to be able to beat Man City so that they can increase their chances of winning. But that is by the way. And some of you are also happy simply because the team that you are supporting have managed to win the game. So the match that was between Tottenham and Arsenal has just ended in favor of Manchester City that have won 2-0. So welcome to today's talk show. Of course, we are looking at, among other things that are happening, of course, you know very well that the impeachment of one Mithika Linturi did not go through. Of course, he survived the impeachment and he is still the CS Agriculture and Livestock. But there have been so many claims that there were some bribery claims. So that is what we're trying to look into. Of course, we are going to weigh on some of the issues that were raised earlier. So as you're joining me, kindly ensure that you subscribe to our channel. You turn on the notification bell so that when we go live, we'll always be able to notify you. So I just want to replay for you. I know these are some things that you already know, but I just want to replay for you some of these videos so that you can be able to know what is taking place or what is yesterday.
Monday, 13th May 2024.
Thank you.
Report of the Select Committee on the proposed dismissal of the Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi as the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development. Thank you. I lay, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Naomi Wako, I'll give you 3 to 5 minutes to brief the House on the content of your report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Hold your horses, Honorable Otienda Molo. You already raised a point of order that I'll come to. You remember I told you. Let her finish first.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Select Committee was mandated to investigate the allegation against the Cabinet Secretary as contained in the resolution of House and table its report within 10 days. And as I have already submitted and tabled the report, Honorable Speaker, the committee had the opportunity to sit and we were able to allow all the parties to present itself and we gave equal opportunity. Honorable Speaker, in concluding the hearing, the committee was guided by the provision of Article 152 of the Constitution and Standing Orders 64 and 66. On Friday, 10th May 2024, the sponsor of the motion and the Cabinet Secretary made their closing statement to the committee. The closing statement marked the end of the hearing proceedings, and the committee subsequently embarked on report writing. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 199 provides that a report of committee shall be adopted by a majority of the members. The committee adopted its report on Monday, 13th, today, 4 members of the committee dissented and made their opinion known before the committee. The dissenting opinion is attached to the report of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the Select Committee wishes to thank the Office of the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Clerk of the National Assembly for the support extended to the committee in the execution of its mandate. The committee further extends its appreciation to the sponsor of the special motion, Honorable Wanami, and also the Cabinet Secretary. Finally, I wish to express my appreciation to the honorable members of the committee and the committee secretariat who sat for long hours.
Honorable Naomi Wako, just conclude by telling the House what is the finding of your committee.
Honorable Speaker, the committee, in its report, the committee made the following findings of allegation against the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock. The allegation under ground 1 on gross violation of the Constitution or any other law, ground 2 on serious reasons for believing that the Cabinet Secretary has committed a crime under national law, and ground 3 on the gross misconduct as outlined in the special motion are unsubstantiated. The committee.
Order. Order, honorable members. Order. Order, order. Order. Wanjala, order. Order, honorable members. Order, Hillary, take your seat. Order, Hillary, take your seat. Honorable members. All the standing orders that you and I and the late Godana and the late Oboja drafted have been amended several times to where they are today. And you can amend them as you wish. Now let me, honorable members, allow a few members to make comments. Then we go to some other business. I'll start with the Honorable Opio and I. Each member has 3 minutes.
The Honorable Speaker.
3 minutes.
Is it? Huh? I thought we agreed 10 minutes.
Majority and minority, I'll give you 5 each. Each member 3 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, I think we should be a little bit more patient on this matter, Honorable Speaker, because this is a very, very important matter. Honorable Speaker, this is the first time this House, since 2010, is dealing with a motion for the impeachment of a Cabinet Secretary. It is the first time we are dealing with such a situation, Honorable Speaker. And therefore I want to plead with you that you give us a little bit more time. Honorable Speaker, I want to start from where Honorable Kelo left, very, very quickly. Honorable Speaker, I don't think it was the intention of the framers of our Constitution, 2010, that a decision of this House would be countermanded by a group of 7 people. Honorable Speaker, when we took a vote on this matter last Thursday, a whole 149 members of this House voted overwhelmingly to impeach Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi. It was not the intention, I submit, of the framers of the Constitution when they enacted Article 152, Sub-Article 9, read together with Standing Order 66(7), Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, and I'm sure you know, you can teach us better. There is a danger in this idea of literally interpreting the law. I'm sure you know better than me of the Berryman case of 1946. Honorable Speaker, a purposive interpretation of the law would actually lead us to the conclusion that the decision of that select committee should have been subjected to validation of the whole House. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, there's a higher moral responsibility, Honorable Speaker, on the part of the
That is how things were in Parliament yesterday when the select committee, that is a committee of 11 members led by Honorable Wako, gave a report. And in their report, they said that majority found that Linturi's impeachment could not be substantiated. In other words, they released him and set him free. Something that was really opposed by those who felt that the minority, the four, who had some dissenting opinion, were right. And for the first time, the House wasn't allowed to vote for or against the report, unlike when we had impeachment of the deputy governor of Siaya, and I think the governor of Meru. The entire House was given an opportunity to vote for or against the recommendations that were given by the committee, because it was not a committee of the whole House, but it was a select committee of 11 members. But when the members of parliament were voting, just as you've heard what I say, 149 of them voted to impeach the governor. Then they had to set a committee to go and look into it into detail. So karibuni sana, the ones who are joining me, I can see Goodia is already there. Goodia is talking of the game that has just ended. My team is Arsenal. Arsenal wasn't participating in the game, though the game was good. We have to appreciate that Tottenham have shown some quality football, and maybe if they proceed like that next year, they might be taken as serious contenders of the league, unlike some noisy teams outside there. But still, we can't say that Man City is safe, because it's one game at a time. Anything can happen. That game that maybe we think could be easily won might be the one that is going to deny them the trophy. Laban Misani is saying that when you see Gachagua soaring forgiveness from the Kenyatta family, where he was a personal assistant in the same family, iko shida ni kama mwizi anarudisha kuku aliyoiba. There's a turn of events. Of course, we're going to look into it from the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. I remember Gachagua was among the people who opposed the BBI, and the BBI specifically talked of what was called one man, one shilling, one vote, whereby the resources are supposed to be distributed equivalent to the number of people. So if you have many, then you're going to get more resources. If you're less, you're going to get resources that are maybe proportional to the population. This is something that was really opposed at some point. The gentleman there who was the PS Interior, I don't know if he was Kibichu, told the leaders from Mount Kenya that they need to separate Raila from BBI, something that did not happen. But what is happening currently, we are seeing Gachagua getting a bow turn and is now preaching the one man, one shilling, one vote. And he's been backlashed by so many leaders from the other end. For example, we've seen the CS, I don't know, the former CS of trade, that is Moses Kuria, reminding Gachagua that the central Kenya has got so many people in the government, so many cabinet secretaries and permanent secretaries, including the majority leaders in the House. So he say that if they want one man, one vote, one shilling implemented, it doesn't need a referendum, or they don't need to have some publication meetings to tell people on it. So that's how the things that are happening. And I don't know what has led to the change of events. I can see somebody is joining me here. I'm sure he's joining me specifically for something else. Revolutionary, how are you? I hope you're not joining to discuss the game between Manchester City and Tottenham, because neither me nor you is a fan of either of the teams. Can you hear me?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, Leo, I just came to check on you. I wanted to make sure you're doing okay and you're in good health
Why are you
mentally,
checking on me? Why are you checking on me?
because you thought Arsenal is going to win the league. So I have to make sure that you're in good spirits.
No. But okay, politics aside, do you think Man City has already won the league, or they still? We still have some games, and anything can happen. Man City maybe can draw or can lose, maybe even in the final game. Aren't you seeing a situation whereby the game is going to be the title a winner is going to be decided on the last game?
That's possible, but it's very. I don't think so, because Moyes, Man City are playing West Ham as their last game, and Moyes is
Mhm.
their Moyes is the coach, the manager for West Ham, who is leaving by the end of the season. And
Okay.
West Ham, they feel like they don't care. I mean, we beat them, was it 5-0, 4-0, and we are struggling. So imagine what Man City will do to them at the Etihad. So there's no chance. I mean, this thing is over. But that's a possibility. You never know. If Arsenal
Yeah,
win, I'll have
football
yeah.
football never failed to disappoint. Look at the game
If
that Arsenal lost that is now placing them at this place with a lot of pressure. It was so simple, and it was lost in the last minute, in the extra time. Look
yeah.
at what happened when Bayern was playing Real Madrid. So anything can happen in football. So we don't need to tell maybe we just need to tell the fans of other teams that they need to have faith. Maybe teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, and Chelsea are the teams that have already been written off. But the first and the second team, uh, 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 any of them can carry the day.
Uh, no. I know you are hopeful, but no. If Arsenal wins the league, I'll join ODM.
No. Away from. Okay, I get you, but uh, okay, it's true. I also believe that Man City have got an upper hand, actually, because they're already leading. So if they just focus on winning all the remaining games, that's the only prayer they have. While Arsenal is praying that they win all the games, and they also pray that Man City lose. So in Arsenal side, at least they're having two prayers, which might work or might not work. So that one I agree. But what I also want you to agree is that it can go either way. It's not a
Okay,
guarantee.
that's true.
Yeah. So maybe away from that, I know you've been missing. A lot has been happening. Yesterday, you saw the CS Agriculture and Livestock being acquitted. Like they said, the allegations could not be substantiated. But you are aware that it's in public domain. It's a fact that a substandard fertilizer was distributed. It is true that the government already started compensating the farmers who got the substandard fertilizer. Though the question that people are not told is which money are they using to compensate, yet the supplier of the fertilizer had already been paid. They are not telling us who these suppliers were and why can't they refund the money because they supplied some substandard fertilizers. Then you saw the person who is supposed to take responsibility, like the head of that ministry, they say that okay, this guy is not responsible. So what is your take on that? Despite the fact that there are claims of bribery, and the fertilizer deal was worth billions, of which it's possible to bribe. I had a certain member of parliament, that is the women rep Busia Omanyo, saying that she was bribed with the 5 million and she refused.
Yeah, that's something that I think the parliament should look into.
Mhm.
Because if this member of parliament say that she was offered money, then they should interrogate more into it. Um, it's obvious, and I think the person who brought in the motion to impeach Linturi made a good point. If 149 members of parliament voted to impeach impeach Linturi, then that means that, you know, the majority of people want him out. So for him to survive that impeachment, it's a travesty on our not judicial process, but impeachment process. So I agree, but this falls back to the president. The president should be also responsible. I mean, if he knows that majority of Kenyans look at his CS or whatever of agriculture, Linturi, as someone who's involved in this, the responsible thing for him to do was to ask him to resign, you know, but he's not doing that, which means that he's rubber stamping this behavior. So yeah, this is not a good sign to the whole Kenya Kwanza side, but the Kenya Kwanza side is turning out to be a disaster, a natural disaster. And I think they are it's like the Uhuru Kenyatta's administration on steroids. I don't think I don't even know if they'll last up to 2027. We are on 2024, right?
We are in 2024.
I don't know if they last till 2027 because I don't know. But the sad thing is,
why are you saying you don't know if they'll last till 2027? Yet we have a constitution that gives them mandate till 2027. We'll be holding another elections. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay. I can see kijana ya town. I know this is SG. SG, karibu sana. Na unaweza guzia kidogo mambo, nimesikia ukisema ndovu imeanguka. Alafu there are issues. These guys walituambia Kenya Rebel, I lost your voice. Is it back? I don't know. Is it your headphones, or I don't know what you're using that is making you not be audible. Maybe you can retry connecting your audio. Meanwhile, wacha nikaribishe SG akiguzia mambo ya ndovu kidogo, pia tuambie ni nini imefanyika. Tuliambiwa watu walipata fertilizer gushi au sijui fertilizer fake, then baadaye yule mtu anafaa kuchukua responsibility. Tumeambiwa ni mweupe kama pamba. Kenya, sorry, kijana ya town.
Kiongozi vipi bwana?
Salama.
Mimi unanipata kwa njia ya mufti
Na kupata kwa njia ya mufti kabisa.
Ndio nasema jogoo wa mjini hajui kuika mashambani. Sasa sisi ni watu ya mjini bwana. Anyway, pole, wewe ni mtu ya Arsenal
Mimi ni mtu ya Arsenal.
Bwana, pole
Sijui kwa nini mnaambia watu wa Arsenal pole na watu wa Arsenal hawako kwenye kiwanja.
Arsenal, unajua mlitegemea wengine kwa hii. Don't trust people bwana. In your own success, you blame yourself because at one point you celebrated a draw in Etihad. You celebrated I think a draw in Etihad, yes, and then you were beaten by Aston Villa. That is where this thing went. We had this thing in your hands, lakini you bottled it up. Sasa wakasema sasa ndovu ni kuu imetoka kwa mti, sasa iko chini. It's unfortunate you're going trophyless. You know, it's weird hamtapata kikombe hii mwezi. So the only thing you'll get is what we call a certificate of participation, which will also be given to every team, even Sheffield United. Anyway, tuache sasa hiyo mambo ya mpira, tuingie siasa ya Kenya.
Yes, siasa ya Kenya sasa hapa.
I'm a happy man. I'm a very happy man as a person.
Why are you happy? Yule jamaa aliletea.
Kwa sababu yale mambo Kenya Kwanza inafanya ni yale tulijua itafanya. So we didn't expect anything more or less. And we are happy that I don't know why people expected Ruto to sacrifice his friend Linturi. It is not possible. Wanaendanga umaraya naye, you know, wanaendanga kwa deals naye. I don't think if you show me your friends, I'll tell you your character. The character of the president and the character of his ministers are the same. You cannot distinguish. So we are happy because we are on a roller coaster. Tunazunguka tukielekea jehanamu na hii serikali. Kwa hivyo from where I sit, I don't think you see these people, they play the people's mind. Kama saa hii wamepunguza mafuta na shilingi moja, hiyo ita necessitate crusade kama mbili Mount Kenya, Murang'a moja na ingine maybe Nyeri, ya kusema vile wamestabilize economy. Yeah, so we are enjoying the comedy, because there's nothing here that we can say that it is leadership. This is dealership. There's a difference, dealership and leadership. So sisi tuko sawa, tunangojea Friday nitakuwa pale Limuru. Limuru kwanza ndio home kwetu. In fact, I was born
So what
in
is happening in Limuru on Friday?
We are having deliberation. Lazima tusumbue bwana. Watu walikuwa nafikiri ati sijui ati serikali ya Mungu imekuja sijui ya nani ya shetani sijui.
Maybe if I ask you, SG, is that one related to the change of tune? If you've had the deputy president currently, he changed tune and is now among the people who are preaching one man, one vote, 1 shilling, something that he opposed.
That's a stupid man. We call this kind of people stupid. We know that it's only a fool doesn't change his mind, but we also know that he is not in it. He's just playing games and mind games, which are going not to help. These are people who cannot change Kenya. And the reason they cannot change Kenya is because they are not meant to change Kenya. They were born in Kanu. They behave like Kanu. They say if you walk like a duck, talk like a duck, move like a duck, you're just a duck. I don't think Gachagua is interested in one man, one vote. He has never been interested. It's just like his boss.
That is what he's currently saying.
See,
And he's
these
currently
people,
complaining we cannot take a lot of money to places with less people and leave places with so many people.
The question is, we are almost 2 years after elections. 2 years. We don't have any tangible thing these people have done. In fact, the biggest invention and launching has been school feeding program, which has been done by the president himself. The other day, I saw him inaugurating, opening a school, a primary school. Very things that are supposed to be done by MCAs and MPs. Yeah, a president all over the world are launching satellites. Others are launching rockets. You know, others nuclear power. Our president is fueling limousine to go and celebrate Githeri and beans and see what. It's laughable. We have never seen this in the history of the world. And then we think that we are going somewhere with this guy. This is the most inept government, and it is taking us nowhere. So Gachagua saying that this one man, one vote is trying to redeem himself, because he has realized he's the deputy president and the leader of Madeira. He cannot even command the Kikuyu nation. Kikuyus have had very good, formidable leaders in the past. When Matiba spoke, Kenyans and Mount Kenya could listen. When Kibaki spoke, we could listen. When Uhuru spoke, we could listen. This man who is trying to change, he has no followers except his village in Madeira.
Maybe he realized that, and that is why he's trying to change so that he can get followers. Because
It will not
right
help
now I
him,
can
because
see he stopped. He doesn't use the words he was using before. When he's speaking, he's now trying to speak as a national leader. Is this one not a transformation enough to make people start admiring him?
No, he's trying to be coached to become a good person. But once we know that, you see the problem with if you were to build a house
Yeah.
today, and I give you a forest, what kind of trees would you cut? What kind of trees would you
Oh,
cut?
you are to build house. You the kind of trees that you'll cut, like in terms of age or in terms of the size,
No,
or
what kind of trees do you want if you want to build a roof?
you need trees that are going to like give you a strong house and a
Hmm.
stable house, of course.
So when you look at them in the physical
You
sense,
look at the
what do
ones
you
that are
see?
straight, the ones that are straight, eh?
Thank you, thank you. That's the word I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
The word I wanted is straight. Straight people don't live long,
I get
if
you.
you get what I mean. But
Yeah.
crooked people live long because they live lying, changing, crookedness. And that is what Gachagua is. He's just a crooked person. He's looking for survival to stay in the
I get
forest
you.
so that people don't cut him. You understand? And that is the society we are living in Kenya. Sometimes we blame so much on the leaders we see on
Mm-hmm.
the MPs and the presidents and some, but we are the same people who go and vote for them because we don't like straight things. We cut them off. You understand? But
So we
crooked
need to blame
trees,
Kenyans. Eh?
of course, Kenyans are useless, bana. You cannot tell me ati kuna how can you go a drying up? Let me ask you, unaoga
Yeah.
asubuhi, unaamka saa 9, unaweka tai ama suti ama koti ama kinyasa, alafu unaenda
Uh-huh.
unavotia mtu kama Ruto ama Gachagua. Are you
I mean,
okay in your mind?
they
Because
campaigned and
what what
convinced
what
people.
you're convincing who? What have you? You see, people say this. You should be as yani you should be what we call like a Caesar's wife. Do you know what a Caesar's wife he was? She was what? She was beyond reproach. That is leadership.
Yeah.
Lakini huwezi kuja kuniambia now ati because uko na maneno matamu matamu tutasahau ile Weston uliiba, ile shamba uliua, yami all those bad things. So we are having a society that needs a lot of redemption. But anyway, I come from a region where people know when they make
Mhm.
mistakes, and I think they have realized they made a mistake, and now they are regrouping. They are regrouping to redeem themselves. I hope they do it.
How is this are going to be possible? What do we need to expect in? Is it called Limuru 3 or it is Limuru what? Is it Limuru 4? Because we've been seeing all these Limurus, of
I
course.
can tell you
It's not the
something
first
because
time. And the
uh,
Limuru is symbolic to
no,
a
no, no.
place where
They have
the
never.
leaders
They
from
have.
Kenya.
They have only been Limuru 1 and 2. This is the only 3 that is happening. The Limuru one
So this is
was
Limuru 3, right?
Kenyatta's. The other one was The other one was Jomo Kenyatta's endorsement. The other one is Uhuru Kenyatta endorsement. This one, what I can assure the people
But I
is that
think Uhuru Kenyatta also called some meetings in Limuru towards the 2022 elections, and people did not heed to the words that were said in that
uh,
meeting. Like when people
no,
got
he
out of
went.
that
That
meeting, kila mtu alienda kivyake. So how sure are
that
you
was
that an endorsement or a statement that is going to
that
be made
was
in Limuru? Because the other
that was
day
not
I
Limuru.
saw Moses Kuria
That
laughing.
was Sagana. I just tell you that was
Oh, that was
Sagana.
Sagana. Okay.
There's a difference. Rimuru is a very serious sacred place. I come from there, and one
Mm-hmm.
of our prophet called Mogo Agafiro said that the arrow that is going to save the Kikuyus will come from Rimuru. So we
Okay.
believe in that prophecy. So what we are deliberating here is just the issues that are affecting the Kikuyu nation. But I can tell you, we are going to have a presidential candidate 2027. You can
I
call
get you.
us all the names you want, but we will make
No, the
sure
other
that
day I had Moses
we are
Kuria
going to
was laughing
throw
and was
we
saying,
are going to
we don't
throw
need
the
the Limuru meetings to get a leader because already we are having a leader. We are having somebody who is senior most in government, and that one should assume the position of leaders in the central.
that is a half he's a half caste. He's not pure Kikuyu. We know him. He's not gonna lead us anywhere. He's a Kalenjin half and a Kikuyu half. His mother I think you know what happened. Even himself, he says his blood is not Kikuyu, it's Nandi. So he's not taking us anywhere. So we went a pure one, and that is the politics. We are playing. Actually, we are going to be playing very dirty politics from now, because we realize that you play good politics in this country, you don't go anywhere. So we are throwing the spanner into the works, and we better go direct to the opposition 2027. But we are not going to vote for anybody here. So it
No,
is
from
that
the way
way.
you're speaking, it seems you are trying to say that in 2027 we are going to have a presidential candidate, maybe from Central or
Of course,
backed by leaders from Central Kenya, if I
yes,
did
yes, we
get you
will.
right.
Yes, we are going to have a presidential candidate, and it's going to be probably Mother Karua, and nothing will stop us. And Mother Karua or Peter Kenneth, those two.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to wash and redeem Peter Kenneth. So people wajipange kwao, Wajaluo wapigie Mjaluo, Wakale wapigie Mkale. Ule atakuwa na watu wengi ashinde kura. Sisi hatufuati watu ambao watupeleki bahari, watu dealers. We want, our economy has been affected since Kenya Kwanza came into power. So let us put our own. Sawa, kila mtu ajipange.
I
Coast
get you.
waweke Joho, Wajaluo waweke Bobi Owino, Waluya
Ndio.
waweke nini. So we are going to go for it's called the juggernaut. You know what I mean? Throwing the spanner into the works. Mambo ichemuke. Thank you.
I get you. Or maybe I can play this one shortly before I bring in a Kenya Revolutionary. Na wewe pia nataka uniambie mzee anasema nini hapa.
Wakaribisha wamama tukae na hao mzuri. So I am very grateful to the county governments and our officers for the cooperation, and we are winning this war on illicit brews and drugs, and we look forward to a great future. Now, Bishop and your bishops and the rest of the clergy, I invite you kindly to help us in this war. We cannot win alone. I'll shortly be meeting the bishops from this region, from ACK, again to appeal to them to see how we can work together with the government to complement our efforts ya kusaidia hawa watoto wetu, kwa sababu hawa watoto ni wetu na ndio tegemeo letu la kesho. Mambo ya mafuriko imetuhangaisha sana. Pale Mai Mahiu tulipoteza watu 61 asubuhi moja, one morning. And Bishop, I want to thank you. You have said you have raised about 6 million shillings. Nataka niseme asante. Hapa kwetu tumekuwa na shida Masiga Dam, Kiambere, tuliambia watu wasonge kwa sababu hiyo maji ikivunja inaweza leta hasara kubwa sana. I'll work with the governor and the leaders here and the county commissioner. Tutaleta chakula ya kutosha, blanketi na mattress na kila kitu, ndio tuhakikishe ya kwamba wale wote ambaye wameathirika wametoka kwa maboma yao, wamepata chakula, wamepata madawa na waweza kukaa na ile njia ambaye inatakikana. Mimi sitaki nisidishe kutoka hapo, niseme tuko na mpango ya mabarabara. Tulipata shida mingi sana, uchumi wetu umeanza kufufuka. Hivi karibuni tutaweka pesa tubalize hizo mabarabara. Tuko na mambo ya stima vile vile na mambo ya maji. Gavana umesema mzuri, mambo ya revenue sharing formula. For the avoidance of doubt, it's good that in matters revenue sharing, regarding Gachagua, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, is a believer and a proponent of one man, one vote, one shilling. Resources are about people. The whole issue of resources is about people. The more you are, the more taxes you pay. And it goes without saying, the more taxes you pay, when it comes to sharing, you share more. And it's that way. Na hiyo sisi tutasukuma na And we have no apologies to make, because it cannot be a constituency like Roiro ambaye iko na watu almost 800,000 inapewa similar amount ya CDF with a constituency iko na watu 14,000.
Leo, can you pause the video? I need to say something.
What has happened to our able deputy president? Why a sudden change of tone?
Yeah, can you hear me, Leo?
I can now hear you.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I was listening to our friend who just left.
Yeah, I know he's on the background. He'll just get back. That is how SG behaves. And he's mentioned some serious things about the Limuru 3 and the Central having a candidate. Are you not seeing this one is taking us back to the tribal politics of Mutuetu Lazima Kwe kwa debe?
Exactly. I mean, he came here and saying Kenyans are useless, Kenyans are nini. You know, sometimes we have to have self-respect. Kenyans are not useless. We are smart people. But the problem is exactly what he's highlighting without even identifying it.
Yeah.
The problem is tribalism. He came here and gave us a lecture about Limuru 3 and Limuru 1 and Limuru 2 and whatever the case. I don't care how many Limurus you have. You can have Limuru 10. Okay? All those leaders that are going to meet at that Limuru are corrupt. Gangsters and thugs who have looted this country the same way Ruto has looted and looted this country. They are not different. Okay? So the problem is not, I don't care if they have Peter Kenneth or the useless, corrupt Martha Karua to be the presidential candidate for 2027. The problem will be the same until the day we have to have a president who cares about the rule of law, who cares about integrity, historical injustice that has occurred in this Kenya. We are not going to move forward. All these tribal meetings, Limuru 3, nani, whether it's on the Nyanza province, whether it's Limuru 3, it's not going to solve anything. E2 is just a bunch of corrupt people who want to get their people, who want to use their tribe to come into power. I mentioned this on my channel and I said this. He's right. Martha Karua and Kioni, they will not stay, and Musyoka will not stay to support Raila Odinga in case Raila Odinga runs in 2027. Okay? And if Raila Odinga goes to AU, Azimio will disband. So
I get you.
So the Kikuyu vote, the Mountain Region for Central Province vote, let me just say that, will try to find a way forward. And that's why you saw when Raila mentioned the AU, Kalonzo was busy canoodling with Uhuru Kenyatta. He was in the Central Province, he's whatever.
And he was they are trying to form the political buzz that they are going to use.
And you had Kalonzo started mentioning Sijui Mambo ya Gema. Sijui Gema to come together and Izakamba. Okay? So
I get you.
All these tribal groupings will not solve anything. Yes, let them go to Limuru and wachague mtu wao, sijui nini, but it will not solve anything. Until that day we have somebody who cares about the rule of law and Kenyans by finishing what is destroying Kenya, which is corruption and lack of respect for the rule of law. We are going to have these suckers. Ruto atamaliza 10 years yake, Nania Gachagua ataingia and will do the same things. Because tell me something, be honest. Is there any difference between the government of Jomo Kenyatta, the government of Moi?
No, we're still doing the same thing. Because the same problems that we had at independence are the problems that we're still addressing, meaning we've not yet reached a point whereby you can say we've been able to overtake these independence challenges, and now we want to focus on the trends in the world. Like currently, we're still fighting poverty, we're still fighting disease and ignorance as something that we declared at independence that we're going to fight. So we've not yet reached a point whereby we are now looking at some other challenges, like we are looking at how technology maybe can be used maybe to affect or improve people's lives and such kind of things. We still promise people that okay, we'll ensure there is free and affordable health facilities and such kind of things. There's no difference. It just change maybe people or and the same people, they just change the roles.
And exactly, and that's what I'm saying. And even as I conclude, even in this channel, you see somebody comes here like SG, and he talks up his tribe. Oh, we Kikuyus, Limuru is holy, and all this rubbish. Same thing. Eli comes here and start talking about Luos. You see, that's the mentality. That's why we can't get anywhere. We're not looking for solutions as Kenyans. We're looking at solutions as tribes. And that's why I'm saying, if we don't change our mindset, there'll be a day of reckoning. The signs were 2007. Don't think this thing, every president postpones these problems that have been affecting people. Hii shida ya shamba,
I get you.
na ninio, and siku moja, vile Bomale alikuwa nasema, every day you throw the ninio bucket on the well, one day kamba itakatika. And Kenya will turn into something else. Leo, I can see you're tired. I don't want to bore you. You look like you are yawning, unataka kulala.
No. I'm looking at a comment from Goodia who is saying that Kenya Rebel, you will wait a long time. It's our mindset we need to change. So how do we change this mindset, Kenya Rebel? How do we change the Kenyan mindset that tells you that when you go voting, if you're voting in Nyalenda, you have to vote somebody from ODM. If you're voting in Makueni or Kadhioni, you have to vote somebody from Wiper. And if I'm voting in Kuresoi, I have to vote somebody from UDA. How do we change this mindset?
First of all, the people who are these organizations, what do they call them? That organized people, or even if you are involved in, you're politically active. Okay, educate people.
Yeah.
Let's treat our constitution as the Bible, as the Christians treat the Bible. Let's treat our constitution as the Muslim treat the Quran. Okay, judge by that. If Ombetsa or Paranya have stolen money in Kakamega County, hold him to that. Let him be prosecuted for that. Tusimwangalia ati huu ni mtu wetu, like Linturi was it Embus or Merus who started supporting Linturi because he was being Ninio. That is what I'm talking about. Let's educate ourselves on the basic civic responsibilities as citizens, knowing what the law says. Then choose according to somebody who has a track record of respecting the rule of law. What makes us? Yeah. Why do we keep on mentioning this guy Okiya Omtata? What makes him different from these other people? Because he always champions the needs of the people. The needs of the people is enshrined in the constitution. That is what we have. What the things that we want, our aspirations, how we are going to rule ourselves, how we are going to take ourselves, how are we going to divide our money, how are we going to devolve our hizo sijui mambo nasikia Gachagua anasema sijui one vote one sijui nonsense. It's all in the constitution. So let's treat this document as the Bible. But if we are relying on listening to Gachagua, Ruto, Moi, Uhuru, we are going to have people like Eli and Dani Upper SG here talking about how great their tribes are. Then you end up with people like Ruto. Alafu mnapiga makelele mna complain. Why are you complaining? He's a product of the mentality that we Kenyans have. So we have to change that. Hata leo tukienda maandamano na tuingize Raila, we'll have the same kind of nonsense that's going on in this Kenya Kwanza government. There's no difference. They're all different. They're no different. They're all the same. So that's how we change our mentality, by looking at the law as the holy grail and following it up. Mtu kama Linturi should be on Kodiaga today, not speaking.
I get you. So, you know, the law is not being followed, and I think we set a wrong precedence, and that is why even when Kenyans are supplied with some substandard or what is fake fertilizers, nothing is taking place. Next, we are going to see this and getting to the Minister of Health. We'll see it getting to the Minister of Housing. So somebody said, yeah, good has put it well that we need to change our mindset. We need to start thinking beyond our tribes, beyond our religion, and we need to now start thinking as Kenyans. Because majorly, I don't know if I don't know if I can say that Kenyans are so ignorant they don't know their rights, or does it mean that Kenyans have just decided to assume yet they know what is rightfully theirs?
No, like I say, Leo, it is all about tribe.
Yeah.
Okay? People tunapigia huyu kwa sababu ametoka mtu wetu. We are going to support.
Okay.
We are going to support Raila because Raila is a friend of our tribal chief Kalonzo. Or
Okay.
you know, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Now look at, that's why I keep on emphasizing the man who approved himself, Okiom Tata. He's a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I can care less if he's a lawyer or not. But he has proven time after time to be standing with the Kenyan people. He doesn't look at himself as, oh, I'm a lawyer, I'm helping the Milembe Nation. When you hear him arguing the Ninio parliament, you don't hear him saying that, oh, I'm doing this for Milembe Nation to have this Ninio. No, he's doing that in the interest of the people of Kenya. There's nothing, okay, by itself, there's nothing wrong with having Limuru 2, 3 or 2, whatever the case is. But we all know what it is. And we know the historical significance of Limuru 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I see you getting excited. Can you share the excitement?
No. My excitement is that some people have given me hope that we might win this league. The game that you people think that City is going to win might be the toughest one.
that is like Azimio still hoping that Raila will become president.
And Eli is also asking, are there people in this group who suffer eliphobia? What is eliphobia, Eli? Come and tell us what you mean when you talk of eliphobia.
Eli is a coward who's scared of debating. Let him get here with debates.
I hope you've gotten you. So I get you, because there is this Liburu 3, of course, and this is still taking us back to the tribal cocoons and the tribal oaths that were taken even before we were born. So why are we making a step forward and making another step backwards? We were told that by voting William Ruto, the people of Central Kenya, at least for the first time, or maybe, I don't know, they decided to rally behind somebody who is not born in their region. And we thought this one is going to be the beginning of the end of the tribal politics, so that people will now start voting based on what you believe in or based on your ideas. But with the threat, or I don't know if I can call it a threat, that you're going to have a Limuru 3, which basically is a tribal based, because we are not going to see Luos, or we are not going to see lawyers, or we are not going to see Kalayans in that meeting. Is this one not being dangerous to the country, Kenya? Are we getting back to where we came from?
No, there's no danger in them meeting. They have a right to meet. If Mount Kenya regional leaders say they want to meet and have Limuru 3, they have a right to meet. There's nothing wrong with that in itself. The problem is, Kenyans in general, we get jittery when we hear Limuru 3, because historically, when we had Limuru 1, it was all about Jomo Kenyatta dividing up the sharing the country's resources within the Mount Kenya leaders. Okay, so if that's why Kenyans, when we hear Limuru 3, we are thinking, oh, what are these guys up to? And let's face it, the people of the mountain hold the most influential position in the country. Okay, But them
Yes.
meeting it by itself is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, and we shouldn't be worried. But we know historically, when these guys met, we know it was something that was not to benefit the whole country. It was only to benefit the people of Mount Kenya. That's why some people feel a certain way about them meeting.
I get you. I get you. I get you. They have the right to do that. Lutari is saying that it's like Limuru 3. It's purely a tribal meeting with nothing to help with uniting the country. You'll find people supporting it, and it's a shame. Just as you said that there's no problem with people from one or from a specific region meeting, as long as their meeting is not going to interfere with the rights of other Kenyans. Eli saying that imagine dropping my name here even when I'm not here. What do you want me to to do? Sign your autograph. I think Eli is responding to you. I don't know if you dragged his name or you mentioned him anywhere. That is before he joined.
Well, if he's here and he knows that I mentioned his name, then he must have been listening. So he can come in and join the studio and debate if he wants to debate. These are the people that I'm talking about. He's the SG version of the Luo, always propping up his tribe, not giving.
What do you mean SG version of a Luo?
The Luo version of SG. That's what I mean. He comes here and props up his tribe as if his tribe is the only existing ethnic group in the world. Let him come defend himself here. I know they usually mess up with my audio when he gets in here, him and Zalendo. Let them come and debate me. I'm here full time. Eli, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that is well. There are certain topics here that I don't do. I don't know which topics Eli is referring to. Maybe he can be able to tell us. Black is saying that Eli, my small brother, where are you? I just arrived in Mepata Unalamika. What happened?
He can pick a topic. If he's intellectually fit, let him pick a topic. We can talk. I'll be waiting at the background. I'll step out so he can come in. Once he's ready, let him tell him to come in. We can go on any topic.
Kenya Rebel, we saw the general is also back in the country. The other day he was in Kisumu. We've been seeing a lot of exchanges between the general and Babu Wino. So on Saturday when Gor Mahia, I think, was playing Shabana, Babu Wino was in Kisumu and got some overwhelming reception. Then later on, yesterday, we also saw Migona going to Obonga. There was some local games over there. So I don't know. Let me play you one video. Then when we come back, you can tell me what do you think is happening between Babu Wino and Migona.
Hold on. Before you play the video.
Yes.
Babu Owino is intellectually inferior to Miguna. Don't compare the two. It's embarrassing.
I want you to prove that because that is what people have really been debating.
I've had the two, and I know the body of work that Miguna have achieved, and Babu Owino's body of work. Babu Owino is not an intellectual by any definition. Okay, so let's not fool ourselves. But you can go ahead and play the videos.
All right. I get you. Let me play it. Oh, I think Kenya Revolution, I think I've dropped. He ran away because he was trying to compare the the intellectual content between Miguna and Babu. I'll engage him later. Eli, I don't know what is up. Maybe you can let me know. I can also see Omondi Ward. Omondi Ward is saying that Kenya Revolutionary has the right to his opinion. It shouldn't be about tribe. Even me as a Luo, I find SG very tribal. I don't know. So guys, the ones who are joining me, I know if you're joining me for the first time, I just want to remind you that you need to subscribe to Afrique 24 hours so that whenever we are live or we are having these kind of shows, we'll always ensure that you get informed or you get alerted. So when you subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell. And if you've subscribed, you can also go ahead and join Afrique and become a member of Afrique. So I'm glad that you're watching Afrique, and this is the place where we connect you with the African stories. We do this kind of live talk shows specifically to be able to educate and give some civic education to our fellow Kenyans and try to shape the way in which our beautiful country called Kenya is managed. So karibuni sana. I can see Black is there. Black is saying that Kenya Rebel has escaped as always. I know he will be back. I know he will be back. I don't know if he was running away from Eli or who, because Eli is not even joined the studio, but he decided to run away. But I know he will get back. So Kenya Revolutionary, kindly, if you can hear me, get back. Kuna unatafutwa hapa. So Geoffrey is saying that the central region is driving the country with this Limuru thing on a wrong direction. If they follow that direction, they are there to lose big time. Oh, Goodyear is also saying that he's taking back. I don't know what you're taking back your opinion on Babu Wino. Actually, when I think he was just passing, going to watch a game at Mamboleo, and then following day, Miguna also went to the same place. I don't know what is between them. We are going to see that. Of course, they are politicians. We can be able to read and speculate politics in it. Back to our Gachagua, we've seen that so far. Gachagua has changed and is now supporting one man, one vote, 1 shilling. And there's some people I had saying that, they were giving example with the biblical Saul, who was later delivered and transformed himself from Saul to Paul. So they were saying that Saul used to persecute so many Christians, but later on, when he met Jesus on his way to Damascus, something tremendously changed in his life, and he became one of the greatest preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So they are trying to insinuate that it might be that Gachagua was off-road or maybe was against so many things, but he's now getting transformed. It's like Gachagua is interacting with the Damascus kind of a revelation, and maybe he might be one of the darlings. So I don't know your take on that. Before I bring in, I can see Jeff is here. Eli saying that in fact no difference between this Paul Ongili and the so-called Kenya rebel. Okay. So Jeff, karibu sana. I hope you are good. The question that we are looking at is Gachagua has finally said that he's supporting one man, one vote, 1 shilling. And this is something that was in BBI. I don't know if, Jeff, you also change your mind on BBI. And if you change your mind, you can maybe tell us why. Why do you think that Gachagua has decided now to support one man, 1 shilling, one vote? Has he realized that that is where the heart of the people that he represents are? Or have he woken up today and realized that this bill or this one man or one vote, 1 shilling sharing of revenue model is the best one that Kenya can adopt?
Yes, Mr. Leo, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, I'll begin by asking you a question.
Okay.
Has Gachagua ever said that he was not supporting one man, one vote, 1 shilling at any one point?
Yes, by the time that I think this is one of the main thing that those people who are campaigning for BBI used to campaign. Like in major cases, when they were
You
campaigning
see,
for BBI, they were not
you see,
reading.
I have
They were
I
not
have
reading
asked
most
you
of the.
I have asked you
I,
a very
I want to
I have,
answer you. I want to answer you. They were not
but you are
telling people the entire thing,
generalizing.
but they
You
were
are not
talking of.
answering. You are beating around the bush. Go direct and tell me. Yes, we have a video of Gachagua saying he is not in support of one man, one vote, one shilling. If you don't
Of
have
course,
such, I
this one
don't
was
think
the
you
main
have
thing that
such.
was campaigned. People campaigned for in BBI, and he is on record
Now,
opposing it and saying that that BBI
can
is
I
a
tell
bad
you
document.
something? Can I tell
Yes,
you something? BBI
yes,
was a composition of so many things. The
okay.
fact that there are people who were rejecting BBI does not mean the document was bad entirely. The same case with me. I didn't support BBI because
Mhm,
though BBI had some good clauses, it also had some clauses that were not good for Kenya. For
mhm,
instance, people say they don't want BBI, not because of one man, one vote, one shilling. It is
okay.
because of some other clauses, like putting the judiciary under the executive through the ombudsman clause, uh, through increment of some other positions that were not supposed to be there. There were so many things that were not supposed to be in the BBI. At the same time, there were so many good things that were in the BBI. But I want to tell you this because I come from Central Kenya. There is
Mhm,
no member of parliament or any politician in Central Kenya who does not support one man, one vote, one shilling. That is where
mhm,
the hearts of the Central Kenya people are. And anybody who would try to oppose that, it means he doesn't know what is the will of the people. Because, Mr. Leo, politics is all about interest. Interest
okay.
is, yes, we are paying taxes. Are we getting the value of our money? What is our share in the government? What are we getting? Not just Central Kenya people. One man, one vote, one shilling is to say, can people be given money basing on their population? Because
Okay.
the same problems that the Nyanza people are facing are the same the problems that the Central people are facing. So if you give
Yeah.
some people a lot of money that a child can get 100,000 in the form of uh, scholarship, or what we call, how do we call it, the whatever of school,
Bursary.
the
Bursary.
bursaries.
Yeah.
Yet, in a place like Kiabu, the best that the government can give is 3,000, between 3,000 and 2,000. I mean, there is no equality. So, one man, one vote, one shilling is not for Central Kenya. It is an agitation for equality in national cake sharing. And I have never heard, unless we want to be unfair or we want to
Mhm,
mispresent the information, I have never heard the deputy president say that he is not in support of that. What he did, he remained silent. If anything, actually, Gachagua is a
mhm,
very, people take him as maybe somebody who is not wise. But for him, he refrained to talk about so many things. If there is somebody who was not opposing BBI outrightly or strongly, was the deputy president. In most cases, he kept quiet. His silence does not mean that he was rejecting the document entirely. No, I can tell you without fear of contradiction that the Central Kenya members of parliament and politicians, including the people, they have been oppressed through the sharing of national cake. We don't get
mhm.
what we're supposed to get because most of the taxes, they come from Nairobi. The next county that gives Kenya a lot of taxes is Kiambu. But what are they getting? The
That is
next
true.
one, I mean, people are just asking for fairness. So it is not that people are being selfish. So I don't know who can oppose such a good thing. So even the president, If he does not support that, he should tell us then what is he supporting. Does he stand for equality and fairness? And by saying one man, one vote does not mean that the other counties should be marginalized. Yes, they should be given the equalization fund, but at the same time, they should not be seen to be progressing at the expense of others. That is all people are asking.
I get you. People argue that, like, these guys, if there were some other things that were good in BBI, they would have said that, okay, we are amending this document to remove this, and this, then we pass the remaining. Just like you saw the Financial Act, uh, or the
Can I tell
Financial
you?
Bill 2023, whereby some MPs are saying that we don't want this, can we amend it? But majority of the
Can I
people who
tell you?
are voting that we are voting for it without amending, without changing anything. Yes, tell me.
Yes. Do you know? If you remember at the Bomas, I wish
Okay.
you can. I wish you can be able to get the video for the president who was now the vice president or the deputy president then. That is exactly what he said. He said this is a great moment. And we all acknowledge that there are some gray areas. There are some things we need to change in the constitution. And he said, instead of saying, let us move this document the way it is, let us listen to the views of all the people. We sit down and amend what we are supposed to amend. But the arrogance of the former Prime Minister and Uhuru Kenyatta could not allow anything to be done in that BBI, such that even the people that were writing the BBI, there were some things that were introduced in the BBI that were not part of it. And they even came out to say, though we were the people who were writing these things, some of them came and said, no, some things that have been put here were not part of what we were discussing. And the president, who was the deputy president, then said, please, can we sit down? Look at this document. Let us not be a competition between who is stronger than who, but let us see how we can give Kenya the best. Because one, it is a very expensive exercise that Kenyans had to pay billions of money. And even the process of referendum, it was going to cost Kenyans billions of money. But the arrogance of Uhuru Kenyatta and the former prime minister, they could not allow even a comma to be changed. And that is where they differed. The BBI had so many because I went through it. And it was actually to benefit Kenya. Few of them, to, and those classes were put there, politicians. So I don't know what I can say. The president was not opposing the BBI. I want you to maybe to get
You're
some of the
having some
clips.
problem with
Genuinely,
your connection. Yeah, but that is hard. Geoffrey is saying that the central region should know that the most resources since independence has been used to develop this region. So others have remained undeveloped. So this one man, one shilling is not fair. And maybe I don't know how this one is going, because if you look at the things that are in BBI, there are similar things that are also in the NADCO. If you talk of the bill that claimed that they are going to add some positions and burden Kenyan taxpayers, it's also in the NADCO report, whereby they propose, of course, more positions that are going to be burdening Kenyans. So the question is that are Kenyans ready for this kind of conversation right now? And why is it now that people are discussing the division of revenue, that now people see it is important to ensure that resources are distributed based on the number of maybe taxpayers and voters? I don't know what Ellie is saying. Ellis, talking of Mburu, you clearly tabled comments, Jana, about William Ruto man who basically used the weakness of the working class to drum up support. And as we are also discussing this, you also need to have in mind that we are having some finance act that is yet to be tabled, and most of the recommendations there are terrible, as Kenyans are expected to dig deep into their pockets so that they can be able to maybe earn a living. There are so many taxes that have been proposed. Most of you have been able to see it, so we'll get the document and we'll be able to look into it and do some kind of public participation before maybe it's before it is deliberated on, so that we bring you up to date. And just to remind you that if you're joining for the first time and you've not subscribed to Afrique, ensure that you do that so that whenever we are live, we'll always notify you.
Join us every Friday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a captivating journey into the world of love, relationships, and romance, presented by the dynamic trio Maggie Knox, MC Jesse, and Annie Waweru, Bed of Roses. Promises to be your weekly dose of heartwarming stories, insightful discussions, and expert advice on matters of the heart. Whether you're single, in a relationship, or simply love a good love story, this is the show for you. Don't miss out on the chance to unwind and indulge in the joys and challenges of love, all brought to you by our talented hosts. Tune into Afrique 24 every Friday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and let us guide you through the
But what political leader can stand up and say my party is a party of principles? For the party of Kennedy is also the party of Islam. The party of Javits is also the party of Goldwater. Where is our party? Where is the political party that will make it unnecessary to march on Washington?